I've got the biggest Ripple, XRP, and ISO update for you. I know you love these videos, so I'm going to throw it and jam pack it into one video. All the news maybe you missed this week because you're busy doing other stuff. I am going to help update you. So I got the CEO of Uphold talking about the Ripple partnership. I have a new CBDC announcement with the Bank of Georgia. I had the DIFC deal. I have some ISO news. We're going to talk about how big this deal is, XRP news, FedNow news. There's so much good stuff happening, guys. Let's go ahead and get into this. It's going to be a longer video, but it's worth it. If you watch this whole thing through, you are going to be up to date with what's happening this week around Ripple, XRP, and the crypto space. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this is Joe Indosco from, I think it's from, this guy's from Link2, right? And so he's going to be talking to Simon McLaughlin. Let me play this.
And what the benefits are that you're going to deliver to Ripple, as well as what the benefits are to Uphold that partnership.
Yeah, that's a great starting point, Joe. So, I mean, for people who aren't familiar with Uphold, what we do is allow people, companies, and institutional investors to move value from fiat currencies into cryptocurrencies, and then across different blockchain networks. And the Ripple partnership is very important to us. So we're going to become a node on-demand liquidity service. And their service basically streamlines international payments for big companies. Its role in that will be to convert XRP into fiat currency, USD, pound sterling, and euros, and to handle bank payouts in Europe, UK, and the US.
Huge deal.
It's a really important deal for us, not just because of the direct benefit, but because it signals the strategic direction we want to take the company. This one deal has the potential to double our volumes next year, not our revenues, our volumes. But more importantly, it exposes us to recurring payment flows. And it plays to the utility use case of crypto, as opposed to the retail speculation case that crypto is perhaps best known for. The deal positions Uphold as an infrastructure component in international payments. And that's very much the direction we want to take Uphold. My goal is to get the company to a point where by the end of 2020, we generate the majority of our revenues from enterprise clients.
All right, so I'm going to include the link to this video down below. If you want to watch the rest of this, please do. There's so much other news I want to get to, and I don't want to leave you here for 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and get into this. But you heard it. It's going to double. He thinks that it's going to double the volumes in around Uphold. It's also going to help them work with banks, other different currencies. It is a big deal. XRP Crow, aka Status, put this out. Ripple hits another milestone, Bank of Georgia, okay? So you got Palau, Hong Kong Monetary Authority, Montenegro, Colombia, Bhutan, Georgia, okay? And I've shown you some other partnerships that I think Ripple has that haven't been announced yet. That's in another video. I'll try to have Cass link that video above. I did it like a couple months ago, but I found some interesting connections through Buna that you should take a look at. All right, so Atomic Settlement, Ripple, IMF, guys. You have Ripple here. You have the International Monetary Fund. I think they put this on here. This was an International Monetary Fund meeting. Don't get me wrong there, but I think this was added to this because this comes from a 2018 document, I'm pretty sure, that when Ripple met with the IMF. But hey, good to see, good information to have. Let's keep it going. All right, so Navati Group Limited CEO and Managing Director Peter Cook on partnership with Ripple and Stellar and what it means for him.
They are two of the major networks. We've been able to work with them and be a major partner of theirs in Australia. And I think that goes to a lot of the success of Navati is that we can work with these global companies and bring through significant commercial deals.
So how do you see this impact on your revenues?
Melissa, for the next year, at the least, we'll have revenues will be a number of the payments from Ripple and Stellar for their grant programs that ameliorate our tech build costs and some of our marketing costs. As we start to monetize later this year, then we'll start to get transaction fees.
Okay, so he's basically saying the grants that they're getting from Ripple and Stellar are helping them build out the tech they need to have all of this interoperate, and it's bank fees from there. So that's great news to hear. Awesome. All right, so Ripple, today we announced a partnership with the National Bank of Georgia on the digital Lari. Lowry. It's Lowry. All right, pilot project. The pilot will leverage Ripple's award-winning CBDC technology, and here is the post from Ripple. The partnership will see National Bank of Georgia and Ripple jointly plan the execution and delivery of a pilot program using Ripple's CBDC platform. The National Bank of Georgia has chosen Ripple, the leader in enterprise blockchain crypto solutions, as the official technology partner of the digital Lari. Okay, pilot project. The pilot will experiment with Ripple's CBDC technology and evaluate the practical use cases to gauge the potential benefits for public sector businesses. The stablecoin that they launched with Palau, that is a really great observation and opportunity for other countries to see how the technology works. Is it working in the economy? And yes, it is. And that is why you're going to see more and more of these announcements in 2024. It's going to be very exciting. I will bring you all of that news. All right, Ripple's success following a competitive selection process has been announced by the NBG earlier today. In the announcement, MBG explained that it chose Ripple to support its national currency pilot due to its deep understanding of the project purposes and its use cases, as well as a full commitment to the project's success, sustainability, and business continuity, clear project development roadmap, and gradual deployment approach and use cases. All right. Additionally, highlighted Ripple's experience in conducting real-life pilot project deployments ranging in the preliminary. So this is just a pilot, guys. They are testing the ground waters. They're seeing how this is going to all work, right? You got to get in there and experiment. Some of Ripple's amazing partnerships, guys, the list goes on and on. I don't need to waste more of your time with that. You know how big it is. All right. So how big is this? How big is this? A lot of people are like, I saw Kevin Cage make a video about this. He did a really great job explaining all this, and I'm going to explain this too. So the DIFC champions Dubai as a global crypto hub with the approval of XRP under its virtual assets regime. So first, let's learn about who the DIFC are, okay? Because that's very important. So the DIFC is a leading global financial center with over 4,000 companies registered within its free zone. These companies include some of the world's largest banks, asset managers, insurance companies, law firms. The DIFC also hosts a growing number of fintech and innovation companies, aka Ripple. All right, the DIFC plays a virtual role in the UAE's economy, contributing over 5% of Dubai's GDP. That is a lot of money. In 2022, the DIFC combined revenue exceeded 1 billion for the first time. This represents a year-on-year increase of 18%. The center also recorded a 19% increase in operating profit. And they also pulled this up too here. This is, I think this is covering 110, is that hectares? I don't know. Established in 2004 as a financial hub for companies operating throughout the Middle East, Africa, and Southeast Asia markets, the DIFC is regulated by the Dubai Financial Services Authority, an independent regulator exclusive in the free zone by its own court system. The DIFC courts separate from the Emirate of Dubai's legal system, on and so on, offers clients 50-year guarantees, zero taxes. This is why a lot of companies and crypto companies are moving out there to take advantage of this. All right, so now that we understand how big this is, let's understand what's happening with this news, okay? Ripple, the leader in enterprise blockchain crypto solutions, today announced that Dubai Financial Services Authority, the DFSA, has approved the digital asset XRP for use within the DIFC. So it now can be used by all these financial institutions. That's a big deal. Big deal. So the Dubai International Finance Center licensed virtual asset firms within the DIFC will now be able to incorporate XRP into their virtual asset services. So if banks want to use XRP in this Dubai center, now they can. Those 4,000 companies, money managers, banks, insurance companies, that's exciting. Since the DFSA opened up external applications, XRP is the first virtual asset to be approved by this regime. XRP joins BTC, ETH, and LTC as assets previously approved by the DFSA's virtual asset regime. XRP now stands to benefit from legal and regulatory clarity in the DIFC and will now be available for use by institutions located in the DIFC to accelerate faster and more efficient global exchange. The UAE has become fast become one of the most innovative jurisdictions intent offering regulatory clarity for guidance for licensed firms and other virtual asset services. So that is a big deal. Now you got the Georgia news, you have this news. It's a good week. It's a good week. All right. Ripple and China working together. This is from ISO, good friend over at ISO there. Rather than being concerned with whether the potential reach of China's CBDC, e-renminbi, and the implications it could have for the country's dominance of the world's financial system, ISO 20022 should in theory ensure the playing field remains level. Companies and could transact in whether digital currency is convenient to them without concern for whether it's practical and a technical point of view. However, one crypto that could benefit is XRP, the currency used on the blockchain-based payment system Ripple. This is one cryptocurrency that will be compliant with the ISO standard, allowing it to operate alongside CBDCs within a centralized payment system. Okay, That's pretty spicy. And it talks a little bit about in forging ahead with central bank digital currency, PBOC, People's Bank of China, that's what it stands for, may also render companies like Ripple, which uses blockchain to facilitate cross-border transactions, redundant intermediaries for the exchanges in RMB. And then it says the Shanghai Hurai Bank recently announced that it was working on a remittance product with Ripple for US and China corridor, which is a lot of money goes in between those two. And then you have Ripple documentation, Bank of China, right? So Ripple is alive and well in China, right? They are trying to work because that is there's over a billion people in China. They all need to send money and do different transfers. Ripple wants a piece of that. So you have Ripple and DZ Bank. Atomic protocols equals message plus confirmation plus timeout in case of problems. SEPA. So I've seen a lot of times in the comments, guys, that ISOs push back. Some of the migration to ISOs pushed back from November to March. That is not accurate. It is what SEPA. 2 countries in the single euro payments area were not ready, and so they pushed that back to March 17th. But Swift and all these other guys are going to move forward with some type of ISO payments. It doesn't necessarily mean crypto will be used. Understand that. I know I see a lot of people thinking like it's Pop Champagne Day. I don't think it's going to happen that fast. You still need regulatory clarity in other places. Some of these, the UK, China, Europe, they might try to jump ahead of the US and try to start using crypto for payments, but I don't know if it's going to happen in 2023. We'll have to see. So this is DZ Bank, a single year payments area. This is a blurry message. I do apologize. If you want to go ahead and pause it here and zoom in and read through all this, you may. Let's go ahead and get into some more news. FedNow, DLT, and ISO. DLT platforms are integrated within traditional non-DLT FMI. FedNow for payment and settlement. Understand the payments, the average payment in FedNow is going to be 4.5 cents. Okay, so that kind of tells you if they're going to be using some type of blockchain technology. Obviously, we know it's not Bitcoin, right? There's no way you're going to send a Bitcoin transaction for 4.5 cents. It can't be Ethereum, right? What's really left? You have HBAR working with micropayments inside FedNow, but if you want those thicker, more juicier cross-border payments that are $1 million or 500K, whatever it is, what are you going to choose? I think you're going to have a couple of different choices between Ripple, Stellar. I think those are going to be the top of anybody's choice, especially here in the United States. We are also introducing data improvements related to ISO 20022 and the standardization procedure that will maintain our interoperability in fintech, traditional finance, and crypto assets. We're not considered a decentralized ledger technology, DLT, on our own, as we don't have an internal ledger, but we partner with several DLTs which make ISO 20022 essential for our operations. Stronghold will also be preparing for FedNow when it tentatively launches in July. So this is obviously a little bit older on the date here, but this is just some information about FedNow. Let's keep it going, guys. I have more news to get to. FedNow runs on FedLine, which is based on TCP IP, Internet Protocol, Communications Protocol, utilizing port 80, World Wide Web HTTP, and port 443. Awesome. I love this. The Federal Reserve banks cannot provide any setup or configuration assistance to troubleshoot network access issues when using non-Federal Reserve banking designated or provided equipment. Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. And it says FedNow will run on the Fed's FedLine, an IP-based network and messaging system that currently provides payment and information services to more than financial organizations. And then here you go. Importance of TCP, because you're probably like, Sensei, why are you reading this to me? P only connects networks on a data level. You can double spend packets, send the same packet to more than one destination at once. But what about connecting networks where someone can send value across the networks? For example, from Bitcoin to Ethereum, or even Swift payments networks to, say, Ripple's XRP network. In such cases, the token is intended to be able to go one destination at a time. One way to connect networks while preventing double spends is to use an exchange. That way it's a bit more complicated, but it needs to be worked out. And then there's a little bit more information down here. So that Victoria can delay it. So this is the essence behind the ILP, Interledger Protocol. It is the same conceptual idea, two-way pegs like sidechains and state channels like Lightning and Raiden. But the focus is solely on connecting networks with respect to value. Besides Interledger Protocol, there is Cosmos, which adds a bit more complexity for convenience on certain use cases. We have, furthermore, it is crucial to develop a value protocol as an equivalent of the internet protocol. This value protocol needs to set common standards for the processing of transactions across a broad range of technologies and governance choices. The new ISO 20022 standard is quickly becoming a contender to be the value protocol of the future and future of payments. And then you have some more information over here. The TCP IP protocol, first published in 1974 by Vint Cerf and Bob Kahn. The suite of protocols ensures two different computers connecting to the internet have the same way of finding each other and exchanging application level information. Without TCP IP protocol, it would be impossible to develop applications that run different kinds of computers, right? So now you understand it a little bit better. Then you have we now all use one protocol, TCP IP. Only one is required. Using only one makes complete sense. Personally, I believe that the same applies to digital assets, and I believe eventually we will be used for payments. Interledger and XRP are front runners to be the TCP IP equivalent to the worlds of fintech. At this point, no one can compete with XRP Ledger's technical spec and performance of the consensus algorithm. Thank you, David Schwartz, Jed McCaleb, and Arthur Brito. A couple more things, and I will let you go. Testing for SWIFT standards release completed on November 10th, 2023. So here you go. This is Euronext Securities operational notice. DCP's ICP's SWIFT release 2023. A bunch of fun jargon here. SWIFT release 2023 will make changes to the MT564 and MT566 messages sent by Euronext. More things that are just being updated. The test phase for participants will open on 16th of October and will be completed by the 10th of November. So they're trying to get their stuff done too, all the testing that needs to be completed. ODL ICCI Bank. Here you go. Why Sadad, Sadad, utilizes Ripple's on-demand liquidity product to implement several of its services, including making cross-border remittances to UAE exchanges and leading private sector bank in India, ICI Bank. That is a tough thing to say. The latest partnership may not involve Ripple. All right, totally fine. And then November 19, 2023, the standards release. It's not just another release. 3 years of work and integrations go into this. So this is from Gershman's Tech. The SWIFT standards release 2023 is just around the corner, scheduled for the 19th of November. So yes, SWIFT is still going. SEPA's snooze, you lose, right? They're going to have to wait a couple months, but SWIFT is moving forward. It's going to be interesting to see if crypto is going to start being used. Eventually, they're going to have to, right? Because if they want to stay in business as banks, they need to save money. They're getting killed right now with interest rates and bond devaluation. It's not good. This is just another release in the culmination of three more person years decided solely to enhancing Swift's library support. November 19th will soon be here. Set the clock. Set the clock. I got one more thing. Congratulations to ZZ Bank for going live with an institutional digital asset offering powered by Medico Harmonize. Awesome. So just more partnerships, more things. Ripple's bought 50 companies. They partnered with 50 companies or bought out 50 companies over the past several years. They are getting ready to really, oh man, I don't even know what to click here. I think this is accept, this is deny. And it's not in English. Okay, that serves me right for having my my VPN on, right? My bad. If you want some cool merchandise, check the shop down in the description. I've got the coolest XRP stuff, guys. I love my XRP shirts. I'm always wearing it whenever I'm walking around. People are like, is that XRP? I'm like, yeah, it is. How'd you know? You're my best friend. I love you. Come talk to me.